What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ben from JBM Sports Media coming at you guys with an NBA video, a sad NBA video for me. Obviously, you guys see I got the Bucks hat on. We are going to be talking about the report that came out today with Giannis. Why wait? We got to just dive right into it, obviously. And that is the report by Shams saying that Giannis is ready for a new home. And now the Bucks are starting to listen to trade offers. And teams are making aggressive push for Giannis. And I think that's without a doubt. Obviously, the trade deadline is next Thursday, February 5th. So I could only imagine how quick teams are going to start ramping up on their offers. I do want to make a critical point, and I just want to throw this out to John Horst. I doubt he sees this. As Bucks GM, bro, just don't get fleeced. That's the only thing I'm going to ask you. Please, I know this is our franchise star, and he does deserve the world. I hope wherever he goes, hopefully in the Western Conference, I'll say that. Unless it makes sense for us to trade him in the East, we get a crap ton of picks, then that's another thing. But just don't get fleeced. That's the only thing I'm going to ask. Please, I know he's our franchise star. He brought us a championship, two-time MVP. If we can't just, wherever he wants to go. If he really wants to go to the Knicks, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense unless there's possibly a third team involved. We're going to get over some mock trades in this video later on, so hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be incredible. I want to get your opinions on these mock trades I have pulled up, and I'll give you guys my opinion on which I think is the best destination spot for Giannis to go to. But I think the end is coming. The end is coming, guys. I am so sad about it because I love Giannis. I never thought he would leave the Bucks, but now more than ever, I think we've gotten to a point where the Bucks organization knows, man, I don't know. I think it would be financially best for us if we start parting ways and, we get a crap ton of draft capital, maybe some young prospects, we start building up from there. But look, there's another report that came out today by Chris Haynes, and I'll pull it up real quick before we get into the mock trades, saying Giannis still has now formally requested a trade, and that is 100% true. I 100% believe that. Nothing has changed on Giannis's end, but now what has changed in this situation is that the Bucks are now willing to listen to trade offers. I think before, maybe a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, they were standing pat on saying, look, we're not going to trade Giannis. We're not going to trade Giannis. Now they're open to, listening to trade offers. We saw a report that came out about 2 weeks ago. I covered it in an NBA video here on JBM Sports Media, saying that the Nets were very close on acquiring Giannis this past summer. So if that was true, I think the Bucks know that they could get a great haul out of any of these teams we're going to go through later on in a mock trade. Maybe not even any of these teams right here. Maybe it's a dark horse team, a team we just don't see coming in the Giannis sweepstakes. Just like I said, it's sad for me. It's a sad video for me going through this process right now. I know it's very happy times for, let's say, teams that are involved in the Giannis trade rumors, whether that be Golden State, whether that be maybe Atlanta, whether that be Toronto, Miami, New York, possibly even. But obviously it's sad because I feel like the era is coming to an end. But regardless, be happy about the good moments. And this guy brought us a championship. Like I said, Horse, just do not get fleeced, please. I know wherever he wants to go, you could maybe keep that in mind for a little bit, but if it doesn't make sense, do not force it. That's all I got to say. All right, let's get into the mock trades. Obviously, I feel like that's a little bit highly anticipated right there. So which team do we start with first? I'm going to start with, I guess for all the Lakers fans, we got to put this trade up here, and that is Giannis going to the Lakers, the Trailblazers being a three-team trade right here, being involved, getting Austin Reeves, and the Bucks get Rui Hachimura, Robert Williams, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and 2 first-round picks by the Trailblazers, 3 first-round picks by the Lakers. Obviously, there's swaps as well. That's 5 first-round picks in total going to Milwaukee. I just don't know exactly if the Trailblazers would be willing to give up 2 first-round picks. I get they're getting a guy like Austin Reeves. That's good for their offense. I know the Giannis to the Lakers, that would bring so much attention, especially after getting Luka Doncic before the trade deadline last year in that crazy deal. Man, I still remember how that deal happened that night. Bro, that was insane. But regardless, I would actually kind of rate this deal. I'm going to do it out of 10. I would rate it a 7. I would be happy that we get our picks back in 2028 and 2030. But it's just like, do I really want to send Giannis to the Lakers to pair up with Luka? I mean, I guess it would be cool to see, right? But when it comes to the prospects and, these players, it doesn't really move me. It's just the picks in this situation. So I would rate it a 7 out of 10. I mean, we would most likely flip Robert Williams right off the bat. I know the Trailblazers would be happy with a player like AR. I think that's no doubt about it. So I think Giannis would fare well in LA with Luka and LeBron. I think that would be a missing piece that they obviously need in that roster right now. Yeah, like I said, I'm rating this one a 7 out of 10. I'm not a big fan of this one right here. I got to keep it a $150. But let's keep it going right here. We have next, I do believe this is the Miami Heat Giannis trade situation right here, where Giannis and a first-round pick via the Thunder, but via Denver, but going from OKC as the third team involved in this deal, they go to Miami, and the Bucks get Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, Khalil Ware, Kasparis Yakuchonis, and 3 first-round picks from the Miami Heat, being 2026, 2030, and 2032. And the OKC Thunder do get a 2028 first-round pick by the Miami Heat. Okay, now we're talking. I think this is where I'm a little bit more open-minded for a deal like this to happen, because you do get an all-star player like Tyler Hero. Terry Rozier, that contract, I mean, is that even tradable? Like, obviously, we know the situation that Terry Rozier is currently in, so, I mean, let's keep that in the back of our head. But I guess if the contract is tradable, then, I mean, I guess they would do it. I'm not saying, unless the NBA steps in and is all like, yeah, that contract right there, it's not tradable. Got to take that one off the books. Then that would be a whole different ballpark, a whole different scenario. So Khalil Ware, though, that is the most intriguing piece. Him and Kasparis Yakuchonis, I think, would be the 2 young assets that the Bucks would like in a trade like this. Also, alongside Tyler Hero, has got the Wisconsin connection as well. 3 first-round picks. I would actually be very happy with this trade right here. Very, very happy. I would rate this either 8.5 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. More so leaning towards the 8.5, but I do like this because Khalil Ware, big fan of. Yakuchonis, I think, could do very good if he gets some more minutes. Tyler Hero, I just don't feel like, his time in Miami has gone really well. Obviously, with the injuries, that as well. But the Terry Rozier aspect is just throwing me apart. So maybe that's why I'm not giving it a full 9. But I know that he would be overly excited to get Giannis there, Pat Riley, building up that Heat culture again. And the Thunder getting a first-round pick, I mean, I guess they're just filler in that trade, I mean, in 2027, I'm assuming the Nuggets are still going to be good. So, yeah, that's that. I would rate it 8.5 out of 10. I would like this way better than the Lakers package. Let's keep on going right here. Next up, we have, I do believe this is the Warriors package. Wow. All right, there's a lot to dive into with this one right here. The Warriors get Giannis, Jeremy Grant from the Trailblazers, Gary Trent Jr., and obviously Thanasis. I immediately say this about Thanasis as well. No matter where Giannis goes, he's most likely going to go afterwards, whether him actually being involved in that deal or him maybe getting cut and then later signing on with that team on a minimum deal. So I guess we'll just wait and see for that one. The Bucks getting Jimmy Butler, Robert Williams, Moses Moody, Pods. Pods is literally like, I ain't gonna lie, just take him off. Take him off of that deal. Will Richard. I like Will Richard, actually. And then a boatload of picks. We'll get over the picks in a second. The Trailblazers, real quick, getting Jonathan Kuminga and Kyle Kuzma. But here's where it gets interesting for the Bucks right here. The Bucks get the 2026 first-round pick from the Warriors, 2027 first-round pick, which is a swap, 2028. And they get their own pick from 2030 from the Trailblazers back. 2031, 2032, after the Steph era is most likely over. Bro, that's a lot of draft capital for the Milwaukee Bucks right there. I like that. I like this. This is what the Bucks should be looking for in Giannis trade offers. Draft capital, baby. You might be thinking, why would the Blazers, want to give up their Milwaukee Buck 2030 swap right there? Well, easily. I'll tell you guys why. Because they're going to be getting rid of Jeremy Grant's contract and sending that to the Warriors. So I think that would make a lot of sense for the Blazers, getting rid of Jeremy Grant and low key. I wouldn't be that upset with it. Jimmy Butler, I would assume, coming off an ACL tear, it's might be 37 when he comes back. He may get flipped as well for more picks for the Bucks. That could be an asset. I really like Moses Moody. I do like Moses Moody. Pods, I do not like. Will Richard, I would keep. Like I said, Robert Williams, I know he was in another trade offer earlier. I like this trade. I do. I would have to give this a 9 out of 10. I like this trade. Crap ton of picks. This is what the Bucks need to be looking for. Please, horse, do not get fleeced. I'll keep saying that. But let's move on to the last deal right here we have, and that is Giannis strictly going to the Portland Trailblazers, reuniting with Dame Dollar. I don't think we're going to see Dayton this year, but that would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? And return, the Bucks get Jeremy Grant, Scoot Henderson, Donovan Clingan, 2028 first round pick, or does that say 2020? Yeah, 2028 via Orlando, 2028 our pick, 2029 their pick, and 2030 our pick. Look. Talk about a team that, you know, if the Portland Trailblazers make a move like this, bro, you got to give them respect because they're showing that, all right, we're going to be back in it. We're going to go for it. Game's going to be back. Obviously, they would still have guys like Shaedon Sharpe. They would still have guys like Tamani Kamara. So that would be a good piece if they had Giannis. That would be a phenomenal piece. Not a good piece. What am I saying? A phenomenal piece. Getting a guy like Scoot Henderson. I've seen ups of Scoot Henderson so far in his career, but I've also seen some very lows. I mean, let's call it what it is. Donovan Clingan, I would like. In the picks, yes, it's all about the picks. Again, I said it's all about the picks once. I'll say it's all about the picks twice. I'll say it 3 times. It's all about the picks. All about the picks. So, yes, I will love this deal. I think this is the deal I would be, honestly, very comfortable with. 4 first-round picks, 1 via Orlando, 1 via Portland, and then get our picks back for 2028 and 2030. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I would also rate this a 9 out of 10. I think out of all these offers, I would kind of say, wow, this one's up there for number 1. But something about this Warriors trade right here, I feel like I got to put this as my favorite offer. Out of all these trades so far that you guys have seen in this video, let me know in the comment section, which one is your favorite? I think this one is mine. I think I would rate this a 9.3 out of 10. I think this would be my favorite. The least would be the Lakers one. I'll show it again real quick. I don't know. Yeah. I think the Lakers are going to be good in 2030 and 2031. That's my only issue. I think, you know, Luka's still going to be there. Maybe they recruit another player. So that's why I'm not that high on that one. This one, I'm cool with it. Like I said, Khalil Ware, Casper Giacotunis, and Tyler Hero. I don't know about that Terry Rozier contract. That's the only one that's throwing me off a little bit. 3 first-round picks via the Heat. If I had to rank them, I would go this one first, the Warriors offer first. I'll say that number 1. This number 2 right here. This number 3. And this number 4. Those are the way that I would rank these trade deals right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Is there any deal that your team would do for Giannis, whether you guys are Knicks fans, Raptors fans? I know there's more mock trades I didn't put on this video. Even to an extent, Brooklyn fans, would there be something like that you guys would be interested in? Let me know in the comments section. As always, make sure you guys subscribe here to JBM Sports Media. Follow us on TikTok at JBM Sports Media, IG at JBM Sports Media. Until then, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.